Time is now 6 p.m. I will call the 9th meeting of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland on Monday, April 22nd, 2024 to order at 6 p.m. We will start tonight's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mayor Sidnor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman DeWalt, Councilwoman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Mills,
Here.
Councilwoman Clark, President Kole,
Here.
Mayor Sidnor.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is approval of the minutes for March 11th, 2024 work session, March 11th, 2024 regular meeting, March 25th, 2024 regular meeting, March 25th, 2024 closed session, April 1st impasse hearing open session, and April 1st, 2024 impasse hearing closed session. Are there any amendments to the minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes that you've listed.
In a second,
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item number 4 is a report of the Mayor and City Council. Councilwoman Johnson, can you please start?
Of course. Good evening, everyone. A couple things to report, so please bear with me. April 10th, I toured the Vitals for Freedom organization right across the street. They enhance the quality in lives and provide companionship to people in the DC area by providing service training dogs. So they gave us a chance to tour their facility. And they also rent out their facility to the Ride for the Fallen organization that provides awareness for veteran issues. So we're able to tour those two facilities and they would tell us what they were all about. On Thursday, April 11th, I wanted to publicly thank Councilwoman Clark for setting up a tour for the other council members to go to the multi-service center to give us a chance to tour the center. And thank you to Ms. Joanne Barr and Chrissy Cornwell for actually accommodating us and taking us around in our hard hats and looking at everything. It was really exciting to see and hear all about the resources that we will be able to provide to our citizens. So I love that. Monday, April 15th, the National League of Cities 100th anniversary visit. I was able to attend that and meet that organization, so that was a good thing to do. Thursday, April 18th, I had a Public Safety and Transportation Committee meeting. It was the first meeting that I was able to attend. It was good to hear, from the citizens and what issues were going on. One gentleman did express that he felt that Ward 2 was being favored over Ward 1, but I was glad that Officer Henson was there to lead that charge, and he agreed to meet with that gentleman and address his concerns. So I look forward to hearing the feedback from that visit. And lastly, I attended the Laurel's Resource Fair on Saturday, April the 20th. It was a great chance to meet different organizations from around PG County and other surrounding counties. They provide services like mental health and homelessness, things that we also will be working with at the Multi-Service Center. So it was good to have them there and let them know that we would like to partner with them. And then it was good to see Ms. LeBlanc, the director of the Multi-Service Center, there too, doing the same thing. So again, I just look forward to the exciting things that are going to be happening at the Multi-Service Center. And then I just wanted to share, it's getting ready to be a busy month with a lot of things happening throughout the city. I guess it's warm outside, things are opening up, and we're just getting back to doing things. So just want to share some couple of upcoming events before our next meeting. So Laurel 4th of July Committee is having their yard sale on Saturday, April the 27th from 8 to 1 at the Laurel Multi-Service Center. Because we are working on our multicultural within the city, just wanted to highlight the fact that May 1st is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So that's where we honor the contributions and accomplishments of Asian Americans, Pacific Island Americans, and Native Hawaiians. And their theme is advancing leaders through innovation. So I just wanted to keep those things in mind as we grow as a city and learn about different cultures. The Women's Club of Laurel is also having a yard sale on May the 4th from 8 to 12 at the West Laurel Swim Club on Brooklyn Bridge Road. Our very own Lake Fest is happening on May the 4th from 11 to 3. organization that handles women with cancer. Peace on Patuxent is having their tea and fundraiser on May the 4th from 12 to 4 at the Goody Mansion. And I do have a couple of meetings set up with homeowners and condo associations. So I just wanted to remind residents that we do take those meetings seriously. So if you would like me specifically or any of the other council members to come out to your organization to speak with us, to learn, so we can hear from you, please let us know. We'd like to come out to those. And then lastly, Music at the Mansion. I went last year. It was great. May the 10th, 6:30 at our new Laurel Mansion. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Mills?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good to see everyone here tonight. And assalamu alaikum, brother. See you in the back there and family. The report, Mr. President, that I have is begins April 5th and 6th. I had the pleasure of going to Atlanta, Georgia, we're trying to find some restaurants for the West Side. We got 2 vacant lots that we're trying to accommodate instead of having the first proposal was a McDonald's and Popeyes, and the community was not for that. So took the initiative. I was going to Georgia anyway, and so took the initiative, went to some restaurants that were fairly nice, and then gave a report back to the development supervisors. And so right now we have a few things in the making right now. Too early to make the announcement for that though. The April 11th, I was a part of the AI training, took a part of it, and it was right here. And that was very interesting. And that was from 9 to 5. The time frame was very interesting too. but the city treated us well, provided breakfast and lunch, little snacks and stuff. But learned a lot doing that AI artificial intelligence training, and very good instructor. April 16th, the Wawa right off of Van Dusen had a customer appreciation day, and I just so happened to been that customer. They gave me a little coffee cup and some free coffee and a little sash that I wore to brighten up people's day, and that was pretty cool. April 9th, oh, and I did attend the. It was good, a good feeling. You mentioned about the tour that we had. It was real good to put that hard hat back on for a while. You know, I used to work for State Highway Administration, and when my very first day working with State Highway, I had to put the hard hat on and go down in a sinkhole. It was about 25 feet deep, and so that kind of took me back there. April 19th, I had the honors of being interviewed by Char for the Council Connections, and that facility and the communications facility. If you do not know, I have to brag about that area. They have a very good setup back there. They have a podcast room that needs to be utilized. And please, if you hear my voice and you're interested in starting a podcast, come up to City Hall and let's make it happen, because they have a very good program and state of the art. I mean, this is not no cell phone and, just talking in front of a cell phone. No. Come and see this facility. And Mr. President, that is my report.
Thank you, Councilman Mills. I will go next. April has been a very busy month with volunteer events. For those that are not aware, if you have a student that needs community service hours, Laurel volunteers through Karine Kubek's office have all the opportunities for you to get out and earn some of those service hours that you need. On April 6th, I attended the Parks and Recreation Patuxent River cleanup. I think there were about 30 people that attended that event. Also on April 10th, I attended the tour for Fidos for Freedom. It was not my first time through that facility, but for those that are looking to help people that need service animals, they are always looking for puppy trainers so that you can raise a puppy and eventually send it off for further training and then become a service animal. On Saturday, the 13th, I worked with the Larry T. Smith Pollinator Garden Phase 1 planting, where about 20 volunteers and myself worked to grub out the soil and install a new pollinator garden in the shape of a butterfly, something that I have never done before, trying to make a butterfly out of stones. If you would like to see that and then become further involved in that garden, that's at Montrose Avenue and Harrison Drive. On the 16th of April, I attended the HDC meeting where we approved a new home addition for one resident and a new roof for another property. A very busy night on the 16th. That night, I also attended the Laurel Pride meeting. Congratulations to the Pride Committee. They now have a new website with the help of IT. Please visit laurelpride.org. There you can find everything Pride related, whether it's applications, sponsorships, upcoming events. The Pride Committee has also announced a new logo design contest. Submissions are due by May 15th and will be judged later that month and announced at a Municipal Center flag raising here at the end of the month of May on May 31st at 7 p.m. From there, we will then move off to a Pride Month kickoff at Oliver's, where we will be handing out Restaurant Month passport books. The entire month of June, different restaurants throughout the city of Laurel will have Pride Night, where you can attend and get a stamp in your passport. If you get all your stamps collected, you can then turn it in to win a raffle for a Pride merchandise package. The final Pride event in the month of May is May 19th at Newsbacks. There will be a drag brunch. You can buy those tickets at Newsbacks or at Main Street Festival. On April 20th, this past Saturday, again, another busy day. Started out with the electronic recycling from DPW. I was happy to see that there was also a paint recycling and drop-off. It did cost a small fee, but for those of you that have had lots of paint in your house, it was a great way to dispose of that safely, and hopefully we have that again at the fall cleanup. Also on Saturday was Parks and Recreation Earth Day cleanup at Brandville Goody Park around the lake. I understand that we were competing against several other municipalities. I look forward to seeing which municipality collected the most trash and the most interesting finds during the cleanup. And finally, I also attended the Lars Resource Fair. It had a great turnout, more than last year and more vendors than last year. So I can't wait to see that continue. Finally, upcoming events, as Ms. Johnson mentioned, there are some coming up in May, but there is a Pride Committee meeting held May 2nd at 6 p.m. virtually. For those that would like to attend that meeting, please email the clerk for the login. That concludes my report, and next we will move to Mayor Sidnor.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to pay my condolences to Ruth Ann Hyatt from the Laurel Police Department for the passing of her brother, James Ronald Wells. So we want to pay our condolences to the family. Also, we want to say our prayers to the 5 students that were shot in Greenbelt for Senior Skip Day. As you know, we have a high school here in Laurel with 2,200 students there. If you see any students visible in our parks, please call the police. Call police right away. I know Senior Skip Day is not officially a thing, but we don't want our high school kids gathering in our parks and anything. So if you see a group of kids gathering in a park, a large group of kids, maybe 200 or more, just please reach out to the police department, let them know what's going on. The community is only safe as the people living in the community, so we all have a responsibility to keep our community safe. So I'll go into my report as well. On April the 10th, I attended the Metropolitan Washington Council of Government Board of Directors meeting. This is a committee from Montgomery County, Northern Virginia, Prince George County, St. Charles County, Washington, D.C., and we talk about common interests in our region. And one of the interests we talked about this past meeting was trees and development. And there was a very intelligent conversation going on. And one of the tree experts said that we need both. It's not an either or. So when we start planning and developing our city, we do need houses and we do need trees. So we got to work with both of those. We can't, it's not one or the other. So that's the whole region is talking about that. We know that we want to save our environment. We know how important trees are. We also know how important is house people as well, especially affordable housing and things of that nature. So I just want to bring that point home because this is a regional thing, not just in Prince George County and the city of Laurel. This is affecting throughout the United States. And so hammer that again. We need both. So it's not neither or. It's trees and housing. So we can work together to find the best way that we can grow our city together. Okay. And also on the same day, at night, I attended a tour of Fidos for Freedom. Once again, what's so impressive about Fidos for Freedom? Fidos for Freedom is the dogs are being trained by inmates in Cumberland. I was a correction officer for 7 years and see the inmates to train these dogs to get them ready for for people to have them, for disabilities to have. I think it's pretty unique. And so I want to salute those inmates up there in Cumberland Federal Penitentiary for training those dogs and giving back to our society. It's good. On April the 12th, also the swearing-in ceremony of new officer Zachary Kozar. Welcome to Laurel Police Department. Once again, Chief Hammer, thank you and your men and women for keeping us safe. April the 13th, I did not attend this event though, but we had this event at the Laurel T. Smith Garden, Montrose Avenue. So I guess they were planting a tree. I wasn't there, so I don't know what they really did, but I think those individuals came out. Had a busy day that day, so I can't make all the events. But also that afternoon, had an open discussion with the seniors at Selborne House. Pretty interesting conversation. I look forward to meeting them more. That's some things I'll be doing in the community, open discussions at the senior citizen buildings. I know some of them can't get out as often as some of us, so I'll be taking City Hall to the senior citizen building and just see what their needs are. Congratulations to Laura again. We have been selected as one of the 100 Cities Roadshow. The National League of Cities been around for 100 years, and it came through Laura, and we're going to be recognized in Tampa at the conference, and so hopefully that we have a good spotlight there. So thank the National League of Cities for coming through. Thank the staff for putting that show together. Communication Department Assistant Director Joyce Jackson, her hard work doing that as well. So I want to shout you out for the Communication Department as well. And also want to congratulate Sergeant Tony Van Bixvich. He became Officer of the Year. I attended that ceremony at the Central Maryland Chambers. So congratulations again. One of our own was Police Officer of the Year. That's great. He also is community sergeant for the community police. So you see Sergeant, he go by Sergeant Tony. So Sergeant Tony is always want to be in the community doing great things for kids. So you see Sergeant Tony out there, congratulate him for being Officer of the Year. Then April the 16th, I had another open discussion with United States military veterans. We only had one person showed up, but that's okay. The whole idea is to get people to come and talk about the interest they have, how we can support our veterans. April 18th, we also attended the Prince George County Municipal Government Association. Our guest speaker was our comptroller, and the comptroller was saying since that bridge collapsed, we don't have labor. We in the state of Maryland, we down labor workers. So, and I think that's goes back from 20, 30 years ago when they started cutting VOTEC out of school. So until we get VOTEC back in school and get our people trained for labor jobs, we have a shortage of labor workers. So we're gonna have to get workers from different states or different countries to come in and help repair our bridges in the state of Maryland. So college is great. I'm big on apprenticeship. I've always been big on apprenticeship, but we need welders, we need plumbers, we need construction workers. So that's state controller said we down labor workers. So we're gonna need to hire people to build that bridge. Okay, I'll continue my report. April 20th, I missed another couple of events in the city. I attended one of my best friend's wedding. He got married on Saturday, so I had to go support family and friends. So I missed the recycling day and earth cleanup day. But like Councilman Cole said, President Cole said, I hope the city of Laurel was the top go-getter in picking up trash around our Protection River. So I got a couple of announcements I want to make. On April 24th at the Marcus Colbert Community Fair, we'll be Arbor Day celebration. It's at 11 a.m. Once again, April the 24th, 11 a.m. at the Marcus Colbert Community Fair, Arbor Day celebration. So please come out if you got time. And also on May the 4th at 11 a.m., it'll be our Lake Fest at Granville Goody Park. And I got some proclamations, Mr. President. I'm gonna go down to the podium and talk about those things as well. I got a lot of them. I'm not going to read word for word, though, but I'm going to highlight a couple of them. I brought a special guest to come here today for Second Chance Month, and I just want to read just a paragraph here. Second Chance Month. In the city of Laurel, and we urge all citizens to reflect on the principles of forgiveness and redemption. Together, we can ensure that every resident of the city of Laurel has an opportunity to lead dignified and fulfilling life. I looked at the statistics today in Prince George County from the state of Maryland Corrections. We have 112 citizens coming home from Department of Corrections. There's 112 people be coming home this year in 2024 coming to Prince George County, and they're gonna need a second chance. So I urge people, please give these individuals a second chance. And I have a gentleman here who I met 3 months ago. Him and I know some folks, and I asked him to come here because he's have a story that he has. He's not gonna ask him to share a story though, but he will share a story later and when we start talking about other things. So Mr. Plummer, can you come forward, please, if I can present you with this proclamation? Sorry. Appreciate it. Yeah, Mr. Plummer is a young man that's, has a second chance, and he's doing this, using this opportunity, second chance, giving back to our community, working in Washington, D.C. To honor you, man. Continue to good work. I know you're not going to be doing some work this summer. I'm looking forward to working with you. Chief gonna be our social media. Yeah, Chief gonna be our social media person. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. The next proclamation is Earth Day. We already passed that. It was on April 20th. So thank everybody who came out, helped clean up our community on Earth Day. Appreciate that. The next proclamation is Arbor Day. Like I mentioned before, that's going to be April 24th. So please come out at 11 o'clock, the Marcus Colbert Field. Director Bell, you can come forward and receive this one, please. Thank you. Plant some good sycamore trees, right?
6 of them, yep.
6 of them, all right. Save this environment, right? Appreciate it.
6 sycamores.
I got you. Thank you. Our next proclamation is a Municipal Clerk Week. This is Ms. Green. You can come for this. So all our municipal clerks throughout, give them a hand. Good thing, yeah. It's a good side, yeah. We also end up running for Clerk of the Year, right? All right, we're gonna bring it home. We're gonna bring it home. You didn't win? All right, oh man. You're gonna win next year. All right. The next one is Teacher Appreciation Week. Teachers, wow. I just finished speaking at a Junior Honor Society at Monarch Global Academy, and I told the parents, right, even though the students was there to get the rewards, though, but it's the parents and the teachers that do the good work as well. So teachers, we recognize you. We thank you for all the wonderful work you do. And always know that I'm a substitute teacher, so I'll take this award now. And I'll probably give it one to the teachers at CMIT. Thank you. All right. The next one is National Economic Development Week. We always use economic development. Robert Love, Director of Economic Development, had our first restaurant week. And it was a success. We're looking forward to many more things that the Economic Development Week department have for us. And so this week, go out and spend some money in the city of Laurel. Come on. And the next one is the National Police Week. Chief Hammer, you can come forward here. I know that's a real big deal throughout our country. Our police officer, they does a great job for us. So we're not gonna buy any donuts, Chief. We're gonna give you some.
I don't need any donuts.
We're gonna give you some healthy food. Thank you for the work you do. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, the next one, former Mayor Mo would love this one, Back to Work Day. So I don't know how many people ride their bikes to work besides former Mayor Mo, but if you're riding your bike to work, please be careful on the road. Wear your helmet, wear a reflective vest, and motors, please give the yield to the pedestrians on the road. So anybody in the audience ride the bikes? Okay, all right, okay. Nobody gonna ride their bike to work, okay. All right, cool, all right. Kid to Park Day, this is a big award. Dr. Bailey, come back again, please. So Park and Rex does a great job keeping our parks clean for our kids and come and play. So we got some beautiful parks out here. I think we got over 18 parks. So we got plenty of green space out here in the city of Laurel. So you can always go to one of our spaces and get some fresh air and walk around. Thank you. Appreciate that. And the last one, and Director Miller, you can come forward for this one. National Public Service Week. We know we just signed the other day, let me correct myself, The union just, the workers at DPW, they signed their contract to ratify the contract. So they have to go before the city council and the mayor do a resolution. So it's a long process. It was a fair process. We're glad they got it done. So looking forward to working with the union in the future. So Director Miller, you can, right here for your men and women that does a great job for us in the city, keeping our streets clean, keeping our trash removed, all that good stuff. So appreciate that.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. There's more proclamations? That's a different agenda.
Let me say something for you.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that the city is not in conflict. I know Councilman Mills said he went to Atlanta to talk to some restaurants. I appreciate that, though. I think it's kind of dicey when we do that, because we should, anytime you want to have a business, I think you want to come into our city, please direct them to economic development, because we borderline with ethics. I appreciate the effort. It's a good thing, but we don't want to get any type of conflict with the business of that. Robert Love Apartment, that's what they do for a living. If you say you think Cheesecake Factory or whatever you think want to come into the city, just reach out to Mr. Love Department. They will make the necessary contacts and show them the process. It's just that we do as a council member, it's kind of borderline ethics, though. But we appreciate the effort you're doing. I would could have told you one-on-one, but I wanted to correct the record so folks wouldn't say that, you're doing something. So, but appreciate the effort, though. But always reach out to, and this for all the council members as well. If you got any business you think want to come into the city, Robert Love, our subject matter expert. Those men and women over there are subject matter experts. Anything you want to know, they will tell you. That's what they do for a living. And so they will help you. They work directly for the city, and work directly for us as council members. They have no issue helping you out and guiding you to the proper place to get the business you think can come into the city. So I just want to put that on the record. Normally I would pull you to the side and tell you, but I think it's important to correct the record on that one. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your taking it, receiving it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Agenda item number 5 is introduction of Ms. Kyla Hanington and Ms. Renee Battle Brooks, Executive Director of Prince George's County Office of Human Rights. If you could please come up to the podium, you'll have 5 minutes for presentation.
Thank you. We'll make it last 5 minutes. Okay. I'll talk fast. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, council members, thank you so much for having us. The Prince George's County Office of Human Rights, we're in our 52nd year here in the county, formerly known as the Human Relations Commission. Because I only have 5 minutes, I'll make this quick. But we always like to highlight what one person can do. And it's through the efforts of a citizen named Teresa Douglas Banks, 52 years ago, 52 and a half, almost 53 years ago, is the reason why we exist. She looked around in her community in Prince George's County in 1972, and she saw really the disparate treatment that was occurring at the hands, disparate treatment of brown and black folks that was occurring. And so she felt very strongly about having a county government agency that was responsible for investigating civil rights violations. Same thing that was happening at this time in 1972 is Prince George's County moved to its current form of governance with the county council and county executive, away from a commission system that I think Calvert and Charles County still has. So you had these two things that were happening. And so she lobbied the new county council really hard, explaining the importance of this. She went to the public hearing, testified. She went to her seat. She suffered a fatal heart attack, and she died a few hours later at the hospital. When we pull the law, and we're actually the first law that was passed under this new, so you pull CB 001, I don't know how many zeros, 1972, you'll see the law. And she's listed as an honorary county council person, and she's listed as a sponsor of this bill. So, Teresa Douglas Banks, here we are. We have expanded. We are the county's civil and human rights education and enforcement agency. We wear many hats, and when new laws are passed that fit with our mission, it is given to us. So our first division is what Teresa Douglas Banks envisioned, and that is we investigate allegations of discrimination. We like to say where you work, live, or play. So that's employment. discrimination. Under employment discrimination, it's always good to know we also have Ban the Box for our returning citizens, where it outlaws employers from asking criminal history until after the conclusion of the first interview. So there's a long process to level that playing field. We investigate housing discrimination. Recently, we added three new classes that are protected. And so in housing discrimination, or in housing, you're not allowed to ask citizenship, you're not allowed to ask immigration status, and you cannot, the source of income is really defined well. We have authority under public accommodations to investigate allegations of discrimination. We have authority to investigate education discrimination. We have authority to investigate law enforcement discrimination, and some commercial and residential banking transactions with a little banking discrimination under that. So that's our first division. And we have a whole way that, a whole process that is written out in the law on how we handle those, and it goes to our commission side if we're not able to resolve once we find cause. Our second division is human trafficking. In 2013, County Council acknowledged that, in fact, human trafficking exists everywhere, and that, and so I commend them. And so they stood up a human trafficking division. They stood up a human trafficking task force. And the county resolution says that the director of the Office of Human Rights will be the chair. So we chair that. We have a human trafficking division within our Office of Human Rights. We are tasked with three main things. That is to identify and recover victim survivors of labor and sex trafficking. And it is real, and it happens everywhere. Where there's greed, there's human trafficking. Presents in many different ways. We also are charged with really increasing the prosecution of traffickers, and we're charged with educating the public, knowing that it takes all of us. We cannot just rely on law enforcement, who cannot be everywhere 24/7. That's our second division. Our third division is language access. In 2017, and then an amendment in 2020, County Council passed a law. It's called Language Access for Public Services Act. It's about 18 pages, but if you synthesize it to one sentence, it says, everybody seeking county government services are entitled to those services in the language of their preference. It really is easy to say, but it is a mammoth task when you think about vital documents. What do you translate? What do you interpret? So there are lots of things, but we have a really good team that really helps guide our county government agencies, and that law also applies to anybody receiving funding, so any contractors that receive county government funds. And our last division is our public outreach and engagement. Kyla Hanington is the manager of that division. She's the one that reached out and really asked if we could come and share our resources, what we have, because we are a resource, and we want for everyone within the county to know we are free, and we do lots of things. But Kyla, why don't you come and talk a little bit about your division?
Okay. Hi. So yes, I'm Kyla Hanington. I'm with the Outreach Division. And one of the things we do is this, and the reason we're coming out to municipalities and talking to elected officials and people who are watching us tonight is we know that you are the people who are out in your communities. You hear from people, you're hearing their problems, and we want you to know what we do so you can pass that information on to them, and always, send people to us. We're here to help. And if we're not the right place, we're also going to try and get people to the right place. We also do a lot of community building. We do conversation groups. We do panel discussions. We do a lot of public events where we have special guests. We do virtual events or in-person discussions. So an example is tomorrow night we are having the country band Chapel Heart. If you watch America's Got Talent, you may have heard of Chapel Heart. So they're doing a virtual event with us tomorrow night, really trying to bring diverse voices into the county, show people hopefully people that look like them, and also people who don't, and are sharing experiences that are different than what they're used to. And we also have a Youth Leadership Academy. So I know I heard you talking about young people. We have a Youth Leadership Academy that runs in the fall and in the spring. And in the summer, our Youth Leadership Academy partners with the library system, and we do the social justice camp. Applications for social justice camp are open right now. So if people are interested, you've got young people who want to be busy in the summer doing social justice work, please look for the library and our social justice camp. that's some of what we do, and we really hope people will reach out to us, and that you all know when you have constituents, you know who you can call on if you hear something that we've outlined here today.
Thank you. And just one other thing that doesn't fall within any of the divisions. We oversee, and that's really all it is. We oversee a program whereby if you're a resident of Prince George's County and you are in detention under threat of deportation, that we partner with CARE. CARE stands for Capital Area Immigrants Rights Coalition, and an attorney is provided as long as there's funding and you meet the requirements. So that is something of huge importance because we have about 25% of our fellow brothers and sisters are from our immigrant community. So thank you for having us. And we will be dropping off sometime this week or next week. We have just some material to help remind everyone what we do and how to contact us. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. And for those at home, do you guys have a website that they can reach out to?
We do. It is, I can never remember.
civilrights.mypgc.us. So civil rights, all one word, .mypgc, like my Prince George's County, .us. I'm also going to say the phone number if people want to write it down, 301-883-6170. And you can also email us, and I'm going to do this one slowly, OHR staff, so think Office of Human Rights staff, all one word, OHR staff, at CO, as in county, .pg, like Prince George's, .md.us.
And all that information will be on the material that we drop off.
Thank you very much. And go ahead
you.
and give that to the clerk. We'll make sure it gets out to social media. And just for your awareness, we do have several events coming up. Main Street Festival, Juneteenth. If you contact the city administrator's office, we can get you a list there where you might be able to have a booth and do community outreach in Laurel.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item of the evening, agenda item number 6, is appointments. Mayor Sidnor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, this is a great appointment right here. Annie Dunham, Parking and Recreation. She's going to serve today, April 22nd, 2024, and a term expire April 22nd, 2027. And also the Historic District Commission, Nancy Steinecke. Okay, and she's going to serve from April 22nd, 2024 to April 22nd, 2027. The council received those resumes from those individuals and asked for the council confirmation.
Thank you, Mayor. Do I have a motion from the council?
Make a motion to approve the appointments as requested.
In a second?
And I'll second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 7 is general public hearing. We will start the public hearing tonight, trying to help keep everyone on track. We do have a 2-minute time limit. Director Bailey has helped me. We have a small timer at the front that will help speakers understand where they are on their 2-minute time limit. I will start the timer after you read your name and address for the record. I will go ahead and open the general public hearing at 6:39 p.m. Our first speaker of the evening is Ms. Georgina Eiffel. Will you please come to the front?
Good evening, Mayor and the City Council. My name is Georgina Eiffel. I reside at 8231 North Lake Court in Laurel, Maryland for the past 23 years. But this evening, I'm glad to hear that the DPW workers have ratified their contract, which I understand will be coming in front of the City Council. I don't know if it has already or not. It sounds as if it may have and been approved. My concern happens to be with the 2023 through 24 budget. On page 41 of that annual budget, it was budgeted $15,000 for collective bargaining for legal fees under legal services. And when I met with the mayor and some of his administration on April 8th at my time with the mayor, we discussed, or I brought in some concerns with regards to hiring Jackson Lewis as a law firm that just recently came into, I guess, work on the DPW contract. They had not been used previously with the 4 contracts that we had with the Fraternal Order of Police. What I was questioning then was, one, why did we bring in the law firm and the timing of it all, and whether or not that particular law firm would be used moving forward. Again, my concern now is that I believe we have exceeded the budgeted $15,000, and I wanted to bring that to the attention of the City Council. I put in a call to Michelle Saylor's office to find out exactly how much was the cost for Jackson Lewis to negotiate the collective bargaining for DPW. Because I believe I've been told that in addition to Jackson Lewis Law Firm being present in a lot of these meetings, also our city solicitor, Lawrence Taub, was also present. So it seemed like we were paying for, multiple legal representation there.
Thank you very much, Ms. Eiffel.
You're very welcome. And again, I look forward to coming next month to find out exactly those figures.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker of the evening is the Honorable Chief Judge, Philip Nichols.
Mr. Mayor, Chief, Mr. President, I'm here as a private citizen, so let's get that straight from the top. I live at the intersection of 8th and Montgomery Street in the historic district, as you may know. I need you to help resolve a neighborhood problem. While I was required to have a public hearing to change the color of my shutters from gray to black, my neighbor across the street continues to hold large gatherings without care for the neighborhood and what disruption that it causes. This past Friday, a week ago, a repast for a popular entertainer was held. There was no parking within 2 blocks of the facility. There are regular events that elsewhere would require a permit for approval with consideration for security, public safety, and fire marshal action. My neighbors and I can hear the noise inside our homes late at night. One police officer, and you certainly can get those reports easier than I can, reported feeling the ground vibrate. We should enforce the noise ordinance. The liquor board confirmed large crowds and the service of alcohol, but otherwise were little help. I come to ask for your help. My neighbors are reluctant to speak. Something needs to be done. I would hope you could find a way to help, and where it is possible, to hold large events with alcohol served without a permit or approval in a historic district, that you do something about it. Mayor Moe, before he left, said, by way of this letter, I'm directing the chief to provide periodic checks on the club as well as the general area for loud music and other types of events that disrupt the community. I think it is time for the city to review these types of events, ensure they have a permit after meeting required standards to hold such events. On that note, I thank you. I hope you can.
Thank you very much, Judge. The administration will be back with you shortly. Our next speaker of the evening is Mr. Michael Plummer. Again, please state your name and address for the record.
Michael Plummer. My address is 3205 Ivorywood Lane. I'm here today as a guest of the mayor. I'm a returning citizen, and I've been home for 4 years. Since I've been home, I hold several hats in Washington, D.C. as a credible messenger, work with Justice Involved Youth. So at the facility at New Beginnings, we work there with Justice Involved Youth who, committed crimes in D.C. Youth Service Center. The second job I hold is a safe passage worker as a program manager of Inner City. And what we do is we manage several schools in the district who have serious problems with arrival and departure. Under this program, we aid and assist law enforcement with and parents and school faculty with, the safety of the community. And our objective is to find a way to keep our youth safe, keep the family safe in the community. And it's a hard job. It's not easy. We got, we hold public hearings and so forth. And some people don't think it's effective, right? But you can't quantify, a good morning or, a private talk with a citizen, right, with data, right? And you look at statistics and stuff like that, right? And my thing is that they want to get these jobs to certain people who hold degrees or, go through a stringent background check with returning citizens. Being home 4 years, I haven't had problems with finding employment because of my social capital. But a lot of prisoners don't have social capital. So when they come home and they apply for a job and it's checked the box, they have a successful interview, but they look at their background and say, oh, well, you committed this crime 20, 30 years ago. And I think that's injustice for this community for an individual to come back and not be able to provide for their family or their self, right? Because that sets them up for failure and to recidivate. That's why the recidivism rate is so high, because they can't find a job. They do get a job as at McDonald's or Home Depot, and it's not enough to sustain themselves. Me personally, I found out that giving back to my community, especially the youth, is way more important than, obtaining other employment, because it's part of our community. And at one point, I helped destroy this community. So it was my duty to come home and to help aid and structure the community in the best way that I know possible, because I've been in before with lived experience.
Thank you, Mr. Plummer. Are you about finished?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Plummer. Like I said before, we'll be working together this summer as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your testimony. Our final speaker of the evening, Ms. Washington. But you don't have to speak unless you would like to.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kiana Washington. I also live 3205 Ivywood Lane. I am here accompanying Mr. Plummer, just left out, but I am really big on youth services as well. We have our own business doing mentoring and also like aiding people who are in need and things like that. I do a lot of giving back to the communities in the District of Columbia as well, like feeding the homeless and things like that. So I play a big, heavy part in that as well. So again, my name is Kiana Washington. If anybody ever want to know anything, I can leave my information if you need that. I mean, I really know what to say. But thank you for the opportunity coming up.
You're welcome. Thank you for your testimony. I have no one else signed up to speak this evening for public hearing. I will close the general public hearing at 6:48 p.m. Agenda item number 8, second public hearing with possible action on resolution number 2-2024, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, creating a multicultural advisory committee and providing for an effective date. Mr. Mayor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We covered this in a work session, and pretty much is a Multicultural Day is coming up in September. And every second Saturday in September, we're going to get together as a city and recognize the different ethnicity we have in our city. So the council went over this in a work session, and I asked for the council confirmation on resolution number 2, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will open the general public hearing on Resolution 2-2024 at 6:49 p.m. With no one signed up to speak, I will close the general public hearing at 6:50 p.m. Do I have a motion from the council?
Mr. President, I motion to approve the resolution number 2-2024.
And do I have a second?
A second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Kole,
Yes.
Mayor Sednor.
I concur.
Motion carries.
Agenda item number 9, second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 2024, text amendment number 266, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to amend the Unified Land Development Code, Chapter 20, Land Development and Subdivision Regulations to update the use tables in commercial, industrial, and MXT zones, to update the forest conservation article, and to update the sign section and to update the definition section. Director Love, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, Mayor, and City Council members. Before you is text amendment 266, ordinance number 2024, as required by the City of Laurel Code, providing legislation to amend the Laurel City Code and Unified Land Development Code. Text amendment application 266, ordinance number 2024 was filed on March 14, 2024 by city staff to the mayor and city council of Laurel to amend Laurel City Code, Unified Land Development Code, Chapter 20, Land Development and Subdivision Regulations, Article 1 Zoning, and Article 5 Forest Conservation. The changes were Section 20-1.7 Definitions, Section 20-6.29 Dwelling Unit Area Requirements, Section 20-7.8 Table of Commercial Uses, Section 20-9.5 Table of Industrial Uses, Section 20-12.2 Table of Mixed-Use Transportation-Oriented Zone Uses, Section 20-17.4 Regulations by Zones, Section 20-41.2 Definitions, and Section 20-41.9 Priorities and Time Requirements for Afforestation and Reforestation. The proposed ordinance was sent to the Maryland Department of Planning, who had no issue with the changes. The file contains a certificate of publication verifying that this application and public hearing was advertised as required by law in the April 4th and 11th editions of the Prince George's Post. A memorandum from the City of Laurel Planning Commission to the Mayor and City Council dated April 11, 2024 reads as follows. At the regular meeting of the City of Laurel Planning Commission held on April 9, 2024, the following action was taken on the subject zoning application. The commission, on the motion by Mr. Wilson, seconded by Mr. Grant, and carried on a roll call vote of all members present, voted to recommend approval of text amendment application number 266, ordinance 2024, as presented in the technical staff report and proposed ordinance to the mayor and city council. That concludes the reading of the file, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. I will open general public hearing on ordinance number 2024 at 6:53 p.m. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
No, Mr. President.
With no one signed up to speak, I will close the public hearing at 6:53 p.m. Are there any comments or questions from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I do have a question. Are we combining ordinance number 2024 and 2025 or separate?
Those are separate. We need to
Separate,
pass
thank
them
you.
separately.
Okay, then I motion to approve ordinance number 2024.
I have a motion.
A second.
Madam Clerk?
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Sidnor.
I concur.
Motion carries.
Our final agenda item of the evening, second public hearing with possible action on ordinance number 2025, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, repealing and reenacting with amendments Chapter 18, Building and Building Regulations of the Laurel City Code, Article 1 through 13, renumbering sections and providing an effective date. Director Selby, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Cole, Mayor Sidnor, City Council members. The Maryland Local Government Annotated 5-211 Legislative Authority Building Regulations authorizes the City of Laurel to adopt regulations regarding the erection of building and signs in the municipality, including the building code and restrictions for building permits. The proposed ordinance will repeal and reenact Chapter 18 of the city, adopting the 2021 International Building Code and Property Maintenance Code, as well as the 2020 Electrical Code, with amendments as required by the state of Maryland. There are no significant amendments made, just typical amendments that we normally include with adopting and updating the building and electrical code. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. I will open the public hearing on ordinance number 2025 at 6:55 p.m. Madam Clerk, is there anyone signed up to speak?
No, Mr. President.
With no one signed up to speak, I will close the public hearing at 6:55 p.m. Are there any comments or questions from the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025 as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Sidnor.
I concur.
Motion carries.
With no further business to come before the mayor and city council, this meeting is adjourned at 6:56 PM.